तुला काय वाटले लवजीचे डायरेक्ट
Hello, what is it, sir? Hello? Hello, what is it, sir?
Hello.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
audible to
Sir,
you,
yes,
sir?
sir. Yes, you are audible, but voice is somehow low, sir, I think.
Very low, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, okay. I will switch over to some other mode. Okay.
Sir, our voice correct கேக்குதா?
No, sir. Little bit low, sir.
Okay, okay. Why? I will make this correction. No problem.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir, it's time to start, sir. Garvin, sir, please start the proceeding, sir.
Vanakkam sir. Vanakkam sir.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Now it's audible, sir.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Just to place the mic closer to your mouth, sir. That's enough, sir.
Now it's clear, I think.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. You may start the proceeding, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Good evening and greetings to you all from Ramco Institute of Technology, Rajapalayam. Welcome to the 3-day workshop on building smart automation design from 5th to 7th August 2020. This workshop is conducted by the Automation and Robotics Club in association with the IST Student Chapter, Institution of Engineers, and Institution Innovation Council. This webinar is an interdisciplinary one. People from any stream can attend this event. No prerequisite knowledge is necessary to attend this event. It's my pleasure to welcome you all, the online participants including faculties, students, research scholars, and industrial persons from various institutions, organizations, on behalf of the Ramco Institute of Technology Principal, Vice Principal, and the management members. It's our request to all the participants to mute your audio and video. Don't share your screen while the resource person is handling the session. Also, throw only your genuine questions in the chat box. Don't chat anything unnecessarily during the session. Don't urge us to send the feedback in between the session. Show your cooperation in this regard for the smooth conduct of the program. Feedback link will be shared at the end of the session. Participants filling the feedback link for 3 days are only eligible to claim the certificate. The schedule for the events is as follows. Day 1, August 5th, 2020, automation using pneumatics hydraulic system using fluid sim. Day 2, August 6, 2020, automation using electro-pneumatics electro-hydraulic system using fluid sim. Day 3, August 7th, 2020, automation using PLC using CodeSys. Hands-on session will be available with the aid of the fluid sim and CodeSys software packages. Hope you all enjoy this technical feast and remember this forever in your diary. Now it's time to welcome our resource person today, Mr. T. Selvasundar, Assistant Professor, Ramco Institute of Technology. Sir is having a vast experience of around 7 years in the teaching field, and his major is mechanical engineering, and he has completed his BE and ME from the reputed institution, and he has published some conference papers and journal papers, and his field of interest is the robotics and automation, and he is having a wide knowledge in the field of fluid sim and code sys, and also in the field of robotics. Now I request Mr. T. Selvasundar to handle the session now.
Thank you, Godwin sir, for your warm welcoming. So I hope my screen is visible to all. Whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is visible.
Okay. So I welcome you all 3 days workshop on building smart automation design without coding. So today's session we are going to discuss about pneumatic system. So how the automation can be done with the help of pneumatic system, and what are the components are required to design to frame a pneumatic circuit for automation purpose. So these are the data we are going to discuss in this session. If time permits, at the end of session, we will work on the hands-on session. Okay. Okay. Before enter to the pneumatic system, we must know what is meant by automation. So automation is basically the delegation of human control function to technical equipments for the purpose of increasing productivity, increasing quality, increasing safety in working condition, as well as reducing the cost. So the purpose of automation, just we are going to replace the human control function to the technical equipment in order to improve certain criteria. Okay. So next, the industrial automation is classified into 3 categories. The first one is pneumatics and hydraulics based automation, and second one is the electrical based automation, and third one is the electronics based industrial automation. So out of the above 3, the pneumatic systems are used in achieving low cost automation in industries in order to reduce the labor cost, to reduce machine investment cost, to increase productivity, to reduce human effects. So before enter to the pneumatic system, we must know the difference between the pneumatics and hydraulics. Okay. So first, what is meant by pneumatic system? Air or gas is used for working of system in pneumatic system. So in hydraulic system, the fluid is used for working of system. In pneumatic system, the producing power is less, but in hydraulic system, more power can be produced. In pneumatic system, it can able to work pressure up to 10 bar, but in hydraulic system, it can able to work from 100 bar to up to 700 bar. That is the main difference. Working pressure is only 10 bar in pneumatic system, but in hydraulic system, we can able to work up to 700 bar pressure. So next, in pneumatic system, the working fluid available in cheap rate, because we are using air as the source in pneumatic system, so it is readily available in the atmosphere. But in hydraulic system, the working fluid is costly as compared to pneumatic system. So in pneumatic system, this process is clean, but in hydraulic system, the maintenance is the major problem. In pneumatic system, it is easy to operate, even though unskilled labor can also able to operate a pneumatic system. But in hydraulic system, with high pressure, it is difficult to operate. Only the trained person can able to operate the hydraulic system. In pneumatic system, the maintenance is easier and quicker. But in hydraulics, the maintenance is not easy. The last difference is in the pneumatic system, the low initial as well as operating cost, but in hydraulic system, higher initial and operating cost. So this is the basic difference between the hydraulics and pneumatic system. But today we are going to discuss about pneumatic system. So pneumatic system can able to work up to the pressure of 10 bar. So that is the main thing we have to keep while designing our pneumatic circuit for automation purpose. Okay, we move on to the pneumatics. So we must know what is meant by pneumatics. We already know pneumatic is nothing but it is a air which is readily available in the atmosphere. So the word pneuma is derived from the Greek. So the pneuma is nothing but it is a breath or air. So pneumatics is the application of compressed air or pressurized air to power the machine or control or regulate the machines. Simply put, pneumatics may be defined as a branch of engineering science which deals with the study of the behavior and application of compressed air. Okay, so pneumatic is nothing but it is a compressed air. With the help of pressurized or compressed air, we are going to give power to the machine or we are going to control the machines. So that is a main definition of pneumatics. So we have another one definition according to our mechanical division. So we can call pneumatics mechanism which use air pressure to apply mechanical force and displacement. So we can write definition of pneumatics in mechanical division: mechanism which use air pressure to apply mechanical force and displacement. The pneumatic devices we use are basically binary actuators, which means the linear actuators only we are going to use for the automation purpose. So the linear actuator means the cylinder. The cylinder cylinder inside the cylinder we have piston. The piston can able to either extend or retract. So we are going to design our pneumatic system in a linear by using the linear actuator means we can able to extend our cylinder as well as retract our cylinder with respect to our requirement. So the advantages of pneumatic system, we already know it is easy to control, can apply a lot of force from a small light packages. It is inexpensive. It is easy to clean. Next, the pneumatic tools when overloaded will stop and so safe as compared to the electrical system. This is the main important advantages of pneumatic system when compared to the electrical system. Next, no fire hazard as an electrical system. So can be easily used in dangerous areas like mines. So in mining areas also we can use the pneumatic system instead of using electrical system. Next, simple in construction, the pneumatic system components are easy to maintain and repair. We already discussed in the difference between hydraulics and pneumatics. The last advantage is the used air is exhausted. So no return lines as in the pneumatic system. So we don't want to maintain the returning line because we are just send out the exhausted gas or air from the cylinder to the atmosphere only. Okay, that is the main advantage of pneumatic system. So next, the disadvantage and the major disadvantage of pneumatic system is the first one is lack of precision control. So it's not possible to maintain 100% accuracy in automation by using the pneumatic system. So the second disadvantage is it is sensitive to vibration. So that is a main problem. Lot of vibration will be created while using the pneumatic system. So we have to reduce the vibration by using the damping system. Next disadvantage is loud and noisy. So noise level is very high while using the pneumatic system. These are the major disadvantage of the pneumatic systems. So next, the applications of pneumatics. So pneumatics are used in various areas. So like the power tools. Next, pneumatics hammers, pneumatic drills, pneumatic wrenches, and pneumatic nut runners and grinders. Next, the material handling operations, high-speed clamping, robotics power drives, arms, and grippers. And many industries also they used a pneumatic system for automation. And food, pharma, textile, and automobile industry also used pneumatic system for automation purpose. So these are the applications of pneumatic system. Next, in the pneumatic standards, normally we have various number of ISO standards. Various ISO standards are available. Out of these types, we follow ISO 1219 standard. Because why I follow ISO 1219 standard for pneumatic system means because it very depend upon the supplier of pneumatic components. We use Festo components, so we follow ISO 1219 standard for pneumatic system. Okay. So next we move on to the classification of pneumatic elements, or we can call it as classification of pneumatic components. What are the components involved while designing the pneumatic circuit for automation purpose? Normally we have 5 elements. The first element is source. The first element is source and service element. The second element is signal element, and third one is control elements, and the fourth one is final control elements, and fifth one is working elements. These are the 5 elements we are going to use while designing or while framing the pneumatic circuit. Okay, so here I mentioned some basic circuit, pneumatic circuit. So at the bottom we have one compressor. So the purpose of using compressor is used to increase the pressure of air. Okay, so initially we suck the air from the atmosphere, and the pressure of air can be increased with the help of compressor. Once high pressure air is straight away sent to the FRL circuit. So FRL segment is nothing but filter, regulator, lubricator segment. Okay, so after coming out from the FRL segment, the air can be straight away sent to the direction control valves. So here we have 2 direction control valve. The first one is 3/2 push button spring return direction control valve, and second direction control or main direction control valve is 4/2 single pilot spring return direction control valve. So here we have some numbers are mentioned to identify the ports. The number 1 port is nothing but the number 1 port is pump or pressure line port. So the number 1 pump or pressure line port should be connected to the air which is coming out from the FRL segment. Okay, so here we have 2 direction control valve. So both direction control valve should have the pump or pressure line, that is 1. So we should connect the 1 pump or pressure line to the FRL segment. Okay, here the port number 3 is nothing but it is silencer. Okay, next here the port number 2. This one is also port number 2, and this one is also port number 2. The port number 2 is a actuating device. So here 4 as well as 2 is a actuating devices. Suppose initial stage in the air is coming to the port 1. Here also the air is coming to port 1. So what happened? The air is coming from the FRL segment is straight away sent to the pump or pressure line 1. So the air is straight away going to port number 1 to port number 2. So in the port number 2, the air is straight away and the line is straight away connected to the piston right end. So what happened? Automatically the piston can move from right end to left end. So that is the diagram I mentioned in this PPT. Suppose if you press this push button, means automatically the direction control valve shift their position. So what happened? The port 1, the pump or pressure line port 1, which is shifted to this line, this port. So what happened? The air can flow from this line to the port number 2. So this line is also connected to port number 2. So air is straight away supply from this line to this pilot valve. So pilot valve is nothing but it receive pneumatic or air, means it can convert the pneumatic energy into mechanical energy. So once if the air is enter to the pilot valve, means it can shift the position of direction control valve. So what happened? So the direction control valve shift their position. So automatically the 1 pump or pressure line is straight away connected to this port. So air is supplied to this port. At the end of this port, we have port number 4. That port is straight away connected to this line. So what happened? The air is straight away sent it to the piston cylinder left end. So due to the supply of pressurized air, the piston can move from left end to right end. So here also we have some air at the initial stage. That air is the exhausted air. That air is straight away sent it to the atmosphere through this line. Okay, so this is the basic working of pneumatic circuits. Okay, so we discuss one by one what are the various components available in the pneumatic circuits. First, source and service element. So the source and service element, this element which contain normally 5 categories. First one is the air, second one is the compressor, third one is the air filter, fourth one is the pressure regulator, fifth one is the air lubricator, sixth one is the air servicing unit, and seventh one is the pneumatic silencer. So air is the main source of pneumatic circuit. So we already know air is readily available in our atmosphere. So due to the compressibility of air, increasing the pressure causes the decreasing in the volume of air. So our pneumatic circuit is working with the help of air from the atmosphere. So that pneumatic air is working under the principle of Boyle's law. Okay, so pneumatic circuit, pneumatic system working under the principle of Boyle's law. So what we must know what is meant by Boyle's law. So Boyle's law, that which means if the pressure as well as volume is inversely proportional to each other, If the pressure is increased, means automatically the volume can decrease. So that is Boyle's law. Until the temperature did not vary. So that is the main point. Okay. So Boyle's law is nothing but here PV is equal to constant until the temperature did not change. Okay. Here I mentioned some diagrams. The first diagram mentioned here we fill air in that part. So what happened here? We have volume level is very high. So due to that high volume, the pressure is very low. So the next diagram I mentioned, I reduce the volume. So I reduce the volume means automatically the pressure will be increased. So at the next position, I reduce some more volume. So automatically the pressure of air will be increased at maximum level. So by using this principle only, our pneumatic system is working. The principle is Boyle's law. Boyle's law is nothing but pressure as well as the volume is inversely proportional to each other until the temperature did not vary. That is PV is equal to constant. So our next compressor. So we already know what is the purpose of using compressor in pneumatic system. The purpose of using compressor is used to increase the pressure level of air. Okay. So initially we suck the air from the atmosphere. That air pressure is very low. So we need to convert the pressure. We need to convert the air pressure. So automatically with the help of compressor, we convert the pressure from low level to high level. So high level pressure can come out from the compressor. This is a simple pneumatic simple of air compressor. This is the pneumatic symbol of air compressor. Next, air filter. So the purpose of using air filter to be free, the air needs to be filtered to be free of moisture and contamination. So the purpose of using air filter is used to remove the dust particle. If any dust particle is available in the air means it can filter it. So the air filter can able to filter 30 to 50 micron particles. Okay, that is the main important point. The symbol of air filter is at the bottom. I mentioned the graphical symbol of filter is at the bottom. I mentioned. Next, pressure regulator, air pressure regulator. The purpose of air pressure regulator is used to regulate the pressure with depend upon our application. Okay, suppose if the air pressure coming out from the compressor is 8 bar, but our working required pressure is 6 bar. So with the help of the air pressure regulator, we can reduce the air pressure from 8 bar to 6 bar. So that is the purpose of using air pressure regulator to regulate the air pressure. So this is the symbol of air pressure regulator. This is the symbol of air pressure regulator. Next, air lubricator. So the lubricator ensures the proper lubrication of internal moving parts pneumatic components, because we have more number of various number of moving components available in the pneumatic system. So automatically due to the friction, the heat will be generated. So we need to reduce the heat level. So for that purpose only we use air lubricator. So by using that air lubricator, we can reduce the heat generator level. So this is the symbol of air lubricator. So next, air servicing unit is nothing but it is the combination of filter, regulator, lubricator, which means FRL. Okay, so air service unit is nothing but it is the combination of filter, regulator, lubricator. So this is the graphical symbol of air servicing unit, which means filter, regulator, lubricator. So next one is the pneumatic silencer. So the purpose of using pneumatic silencer in pneumatic system is used to reduce the noise of air in the outlet of valve. So it just like a silencer which is used to reduce the noise level while emitting the air to the atmosphere. So this is the symbol of graphical symbol of pneumatic silencer. So that's all about the first element. Second element is signal element. So signal element is nothing but it just like a valve or switch which is used to shift the position of direction control valve. Okay, so it just like a switch or just like a valve. By using this valve only, we are going to shift the position of direction control valve. Okay, so here we have various types of signaling elements. The first type is manually operated signaling element. Manually operated signaling element. So here we have various types. So first one is general manual switch. It's just like a switch type. Second one is the push button. If you push the button means the direction control valve can change their position. Next, the pull type. If you pull this button means automatically direction control valve change their position. Next, push or pull button. Next, lever type. Next, pedal type. Next, treadle. So treadle is nothing but we already use this kind of valve or switch in our swing machine. Next, rotary knob. So these are the manually operated valves. By using these valves, we are going to shift the position of direction control valve. So next, mechanically operated valves. The mechanically operated valves are plunger. Plunger is nothing but it is just like a piston. Okay. Next, spring normally as a return. Next, roller type. Next, unidirection or one-way trip. Next, pressure or pilot line. The pilot line is not pressure line or pilot line is nothing but if the air enter to the pilot line means automatically it will shift the position of direction control valve with the help of spring action. So next type of signaling element is electrically operated. So the electrically operated valve is solenoid valve. Solenoid valve is nothing but if you give input as electrical energy means it will convert it into mechanical energy. That is called solenoid valve. Next, solenoid pilot. So what is the difference between the solenoid, direct solenoid as well as the pilot solenoid means? So the direct acting solenoid valve have a direct connection with the opening as well as a closing armature, which means our cylinder. Whereas the pilot operated valve employ the use of the process unit to assist in piloting the operation of the valve. That is the main difference between solenoid valve as well as the pilot operated solenoid valve. Okay, so that's all about the signal elements. Next, our third and main important element is direction control valve. The direction control valve is the extend and retract control for your pneumatic cylinder. It provides a flow path from the compressor to the cylinder and a return path from cylinder to the atmosphere. So the direction control valve, purpose of using direction control valve is used to change the direction of flow of air to the cylinder to compressor. Okay, that is the purpose of using direction control valve. So we have various types of direction control valve. First one is 2x2, next one is 3x2, 4x2, 5x2, 5x3. So we must know what is the meaning of 2x2. The numerator 2, which mention the number of ports available or number of holes available in the direction control valve. The denominator value mention the number of position in the direction control valve. So numerator value is nothing but number of ports or number of holes available in the direction control valve. The denominator value mention the number of position in the direction control valve. Let's see one by one. So before enter to the direction control valve, we must strong in the number of position as well as number of ports in the direction control valve. Okay, first we are going to discuss about number of position. So number of position, for example, this is your direction control valve. So this is your direction control valve. So in that direction control valve, you have two square box. If you have two square box means the number of position is 2. If you have 3 square box means the number of position is 3. That's all. That's all about the number of position. If your direction control valve having 2 square box means that is number of position is 2. If the direction control valve have 3 position, which means 3 box means the number of position in the direction control valve is 3. Next, number of ports. Here I have 1 box. So single position.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the interruption. So this is the most important part of the slide. I request the participants don't share your screen because it may lead to distraction of others. So I request again all the participants, please don't share your screen. It will lead to lack of concentration and lack of interest for others also. Okay. So this is the most important part of the slide. So please focus on it. Kindly pin Selosundar sir presentation so that you can view his presentation direct. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So we know position. What is position in the direction control valve? Next, we have to know what number of ports in the direction control valve. So I already told ports is nothing but it's a hole. Okay. So here I have 1 square box. So number of position is 1. So in that number of position, how many ports, how many holes are there? That is number of ports available in the number of ports in the corresponding direction control valve. Here, the air can able to here the air can able to enter to this port, number 1 port. It can able to come out from the port 2. So here the number of holes available is 2. So the number of ports for this direction control valve is 2. Here you come to the next 3 ports. Here the air can able to flow through the port number 1. It can able to flow port number 1. At the same time, the same air can able to come out through the port number 2. So here I have 2 ports, as well as here also I have 1 port, that is shut off valve. Here the air can able to enter through the port 3, but it can't able to come out because it is arrested, that is shut off valve. Here number of ports is 3, 1, 2, 3. So the number of ports for this particular direction control valve is 3. Next 4 ports means here I have 1, 3, 4, 2. Here the one air can able to enter through the port 1, and the same air can able to come out through the ports 4. So number of port is 2. At the same time, here also I have 2 ports. The air can exhausted from the cylinder, it will enter to the port number 2, and the air can be exit out to the atmosphere through the silencer by using this port 3. Here also I have 2 ports. So total number of ports available in this position is 4. So number of ports for this direction control valve is 4. Similarly, 5 port direction control valve is nothing but here I have 5 ports. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number of holes available in this particular position is 5. So the number of ports for this direction control valve is 5. Okay. Here I have one direction control valve. Here the number of position is 2. Here the number of position is 2 because I have 2 square box. Here I have 2 square box. So the number of position is 2. So number of ports, we should calculate the number of ports. The number of ports, the air can able to enter through this way and it can emit through this port. So 2. The exhausted air from the cylinder can able to enter through this port and it will send it to the atmosphere through this port. So number of port 4, as well as here also I have one shut off valve. It can able to, air can able to enter through this port, but it can't able to come out because it is arrested. So here in the number of ports available here is 5 in the position number 1. The same number of ports should be available in the next position also. That is the main role in the direction control valve. Number of ports available on the first position should be equal to the number of ports available in the second position. Suppose if you have third position, means the third position also you should have the same number of ports. That is a main important point, because without knowing the direction control valve, you can't able to frame a pneumatic circuit for automation. Okay, so the direction control valve plays a very important role. So you must thorough in number of position as well as number of ports available in the direction control valve. Number of position is nothing but number of box available in the direction control valve. Number of ports is nothing but number of holes available in the single position. The same number of ports should be available in the next position also. Yes. Sorry, pardon.
Sir, kindly pin Selva Sundar sir name presentation, sir. Screen is visible for all. In the people column, you see Selva Sundar along with the presentation. You kindly pin that one. Yes, sir. You go ahead, sir.
Okay. I think now you all are familiar about direction control valve. Okay. Next. So let's see some examples for direction control valve. Here, 2x2 direction control valve. So how we mention this direction control valve is 2x2 direction control valve. Here, this is our direction control valve. Here, the number of boxes 2. Here also I have 1 square box. Here also I have 1 square box. So the number of position, which means the denominator value, is 2. And the number of ports, the air can able to enter this way and it can able to come out this way. So the number of position, number of ports or number of holes available in the first position is 2. The same number of ports should be available in the next position also. So here also you check it. Here the air can able to enter this way, but it can't able to exit. Here the air can able to enter this way and it can't able to exit. So here also the number of ports is 2. So the numerator value is 2. That means the number of ports or number of holes available in the direction control valve. As well as the name of this direction control valve, we can call it as 2x2 push button spring return direction control valve, because here I use signaling element. The valve is push button. At the opposite end, I have spring return. If I push this push button means what happen? The direction control valve can change their position. Okay. If you release means it will return to their original position with the help of the spring action. Okay. So that is a example of 2x2 direction control valve. Here I have single acting cylinder. I am going to extend as well as retract the single acting cylinder. That is my main aim. So with the help of 2x2 direction control valve, I am going to extend my single acting cylinder. Here the air come out from the compressor as well as the FRL line, that is straight away connected to the pump or pressure line 1. The port number 1 is nothing but pump or pressure line. Okay. Here this is 3. The port number 3 is nothing but the silencer line. By using that port only, the air can emit to the atmosphere. So the air will straight away enter to this port. It will straight away enter to the cylinder because this port is straight away connected to the left end of the cylinder. So what happen if the air is entered to this area means automatically due to the application of air pressure, the piston can try to move. So the piston can move from left end to right end. So until I press this push button. If I press this push button means automatically the pump line will shifted to this line, to this port. So what happen? The air supply line will be cut off. So automatically the air supply is cut off means so it will come to their original position. So it will come to the left end. So that is the working of single acting cylinder with the help of 2x2 direction control valve. So next example is 3x2 direction control valve.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, Selva, sir.
Yes.
Kindly stop your screen sharing and try to produce the same, sir.
Okay.
Because lot of people having their problems. Try to leave stop screen sharing and re-sharing once again.
Whether it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Participant, now pin Selva Sundar sir presentation. Now everyone will be aware of the presentation. Please pin it now. Please pin the presentation to your screen so that you will not have any disturbances. If even someone else present, you will not have any disturbances.
So, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, and the example for 3x2 direction control valve. So here I have 3x2 direction control valve. Why we call this direction control as 3x2 direction control valve? Because the number of position is 2. Here we have 2 square bags. So the number of position is 2. So the number of port is 3. So here the air can able to enter through this way and the air can able to exit through this way. So number of port is 2, as well as the air can able to enter through this way also, the shut-off valve, but it can't able to emit. So the number of port available in this position is 3. So that's why only we call this direction control valve as a 3x2 direction control valve, as well as here the actuating device, the actuating valve is push button. So with the help of push button, with the help of the actuating valve also you have to mention your direction control valve. So the name of this particular direction control valve is 3x2 push button spring return direction control valve. Likewise only we have to call our direction control valve. Okay. Next. So the same slide. The previous one is the before extend the cylinder. The second slide I mentioned after extending the cylinder. Next, the 4x2 direction control valve. I think now you all are familiar about number of ports as well as number of position. Here the number of position is 2, as well as the number of port is 4, because it can able to enter through this way, it can able to exit this way. So number of port is 2, as well as the air can be entered through this way and it can be exist to the atmosphere through this way. So the number of ports available in this position is 4. The same number of ports should be present in the next position also. So here also we have 4 ports. So this direction control valve is 4/2 push button spring return direction control valve. So next 5/2 direction control valve. So here the 2 is nothing but number of position. Here number of position is 2. The number of port is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number of ports available in the first position is 5. The same port should be available in the second position also. So the name of this particular direction control valve is 5/2 push button spring return direction control valve. Okay. Next, the same one. So in the previous slide, I just showed before extend the cylinder. The next slide I just mentioned after extending cylinder. We will discuss on all these things in the designing part. So next, the 5/3 direction control valve. Here the 5/2 direction. Initially, I have compressor. With the help of compressor, I can increase the pressure of air. So the pressure air is straight away sent it to the FRL line. FRL is nothing but filter, regulator, lubricator line. Filter is used to remove the dust particle of air. Regulator is used to regulate the pressure. What is our required pressure? Depend upon our requirement, the regulator can regulate the pressure level of air. The lubricator is used to reduce the temperature level generated in the system, pneumatic system. So after come out, if the air come out from the FRL line, that line should be connected to the port number 1 for all the direction control valve. Here I use 3 direction control valves. So first one, this is second direction control valve, and this one is third direction control valve. So all these 3 direction control valves should have the pump or pressure line, that is number 1 port. So the air come out from the FR line, that line should be connected to all direction control valve port number 1. So here I connected. Okay, here I have 5/3 direction control valve. Why I mentioned this direction control as the 5/3 direction control means here number of position is 3. 1, and this one is 2, and this one is 3. So that's why the number of position is 3, as well as the number of ports present in the first position is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same number of ports should be present in the remaining position also. So that's why only we call this direction control as a 5/3 direction control valve. Suppose this one is pilot valve. Here also I have one pilot valve. So what happen if air is entered to all the pump line of the direction control valve, but it will not come out because it is arrested, because this one is the shut off valve. So what happen if I press the push button of first direction control valve means the direction control valve shift the air position. Okay, so what happen, the pump line 1 is connected to this port. The pump line 1 should be connected to this port. So the air from the FRL line is straight away sent it to this port, and this one is our second port. Now this line is shifted to this line. So the air come out from this port number 2 is straight away connected to this line because it is shifted due to the pressing of the push button. Now the air is straight away sent it to the pilot valve, which is available at the left end of the main direction control valve. The purpose of using pilot valve is if the pilot valve receive the air means it will shift the position of direction control valve. Okay, now the pilot valve receive the air, so automatically it will shift the position of direction control valve. So what happen, the number 1 line, the pump or pressure line, that line is straight away connected to this line. So what happen, due to the shifting of position, this line is connected to the left end of the cylinder line, and this line is straight away connected to the right end of the cylinder line. So what happen, the air coming from the FRL line is straight away send it to the port number 1 to port number 4. So the air is straight away sent it to the left end of the cylinder. What happen, due to the application of pressurized air, the cylinder can move from left end to right end. At the same time, if air is present in that position means automatically due to the compressibility, the air will come out through this port. So this line is straight away connected to this port. What happen, the exhauster air from the piston is straight away connected to this port number 2. So this port is connected to silencer. So automatically the exhausted air is straight away sent it to the atmosphere. Suppose if you want to retract the position of retract the cylinder means you have to simply unpress the first push button which is available in the direction control valve. Next you have to press the second push button which is available in the second direction control valve. So automatically number one pump or pressure line is straight away connected to this line. This line is connected to this line. It will be removed. So what happen? Automatically the air will straight away through this line to pilot valve which is available in the right side of the direction control valve. So automatically if the pilot valve receive the air means automatically it will shift the position of direction control valve. So what happen? The number one line, the pump or pressure line, that line should be connected to this line. So this line is straight away connected to the right end of the cylinder line, and this line is straight away connected to the left end of the cylinder line. So now the air is flow from this port by using this port. So at the right end of the cylinder. So due to the application of high pressurized air, now the piston is moved from right end to the left end. So automatically we already have some air here. That air can be compressed. That air can be straight away sent it to the atmosphere by using this port with the help of silencer. This is the working of 5/3 direction control valve. So next, that's all about the direction control valve. Our next controlling element, final controlling element is flow control valve. The purpose of using flow control valve is used to reduce the flow rate of air to the cylinder. Suppose if you want to extend your cylinder in a slow manner, okay, if you want to extend your cylinder in a very slow manner means with the help of the flow control valve, you can reduce the flow rate. So if you reduce the flow rate means the amount of air sent to the piston left end will be reduced. So automatically the piston can move slowly. Okay, that is the purpose of using flow control valve. Here I use the diagram. The air is coming from this line. What happened? With the help of flow control valve, I can change the position, opening position level. So if the opening position level is high, means air can easily able to enter through this port, and that line is straight away connected to our cylinder. Suppose if I close this position to my recovery level, if I closed in a recovery level, so the clearance gap is very low, means automatically the amount of air supplied to this line will be reduced. So automatically the cylinder extension speed will be reduced. That is the purpose of using flow control valve. Next, check valve or non-return valve. Check valve or non-return valve is nothing but is a one-way valve, which means the valve, this valve can allow the flow of air in only one direction only. If air come in this line, in this position means due to the pressure of air, the ball will be extended. So automatically the air will be entered through this line and it will be sent out to the recovered area. Suppose the air is returned, the air is coming through this line. So what happen? So it will not allow the flow of air in the reverse direction. So check valve or non-return valve is nothing but it is the valve which is used to allow the flow of air in only one direction only. Okay. So at the bottom only I mentioned. So here the air is coming in that line. So what happen? Due to the application of air can able to move this line. Suppose the air is returned means it will not allow because of spring force. Here we have spring force. So in the here spring force, what happen? It will close the path. So it will close the path means automatically the air will not be returned. So that is the purpose of using check valve or non-return valve. Next valve is one-way flow control valve. So one-way flow control valve is nothing but it is a combination of our flow control valve as well as our check valve. It is a combination of flow control valve as well as our check valve. Okay. So next, logic valves. So logic valve means we already know OR gate as well as AND gate. So we already know the truth table of OR gate. So OR gate can work either the out of two input. If one input is on means automatically we will get output. So that is the logic gate of that is the truth table of OR gate. So the same truth table is followed by one valve. That valve is called shuttle valve. The shuttle valve we can otherwise call it as OR valve or shuttle valve. This valve can work with the help can work under the condition of OR gate truth table. Here, this is the symbol of shuttle valve. Here, this is the symbol of shuttle valve. Here, we have two input line, A as well as B is our input line. Suppose if the air is enter in the A line, if the air is enter in the A port line, so what happen due to the pressure of the air? Sorry. So due to the pressure of the air, what happen if the air is entered through this line means, so due to the pressure of the air, this ball can move from left hand to right hand. So automatically the air can easily flow from A to C. The same way, suppose the air is coming in B port. So air is coming in B port means due to the pressure of air, the ball is moved from right hand to the left hand. So automatically the air can able to move from B port to C port. Suppose if the air is coming in both sides, both A as well as B, both direction, means the ball will be neutralized. Because the same pressure of air only we supplied on the both side. So what happened? The ball will be neutralized. Automatically the air from the both side can be entered to the port number C. So this is the working of OR or shuttle valve. So it work under the condition of truth table of OR gate. So this is the symbol of OR gate. So next AND gate. So we already know AND gate conditions, AND gate truth table. AND gate, it will give output only when the both input should be on. So that is the main condition of AND gate. So this truth table only follow our AND gate or two pressure valve. We can call it as two pressure valve. This is the symbol of AND gate valve or two pressure valve. Here also the same procedure. If the air is coming from one end means automatically due to the pressure of air, the line, this ball will close this position. Automatically the air will not enter. Suppose the air is enter in B port means automatically this line will be closed. So the air will not enter from B to C. Suppose the air is coming from both end, A as well as B. So due to the application of pressurized air on the both side, the valve, the plunger will be neutralized. So what happen? The air can easily enter through C with the help of this clearance. By using this clearance, the air can easily enter to the port C. So this is the working of AND or two pressure valve. So that's all about the logic valves and as well as OR valves. We can use our pneumatic circuit. And the last one is the new working element. Working element is cylinder or actuator. We can call it as actuator. Here we use linear cylinder only. The purpose of using linear cylinders is used to either extend or retract. It can able to extend as well as retract. Here normally we used two types of cylinders. One is single acting cylinder and second one is the double acting cylinder. The single acting cylinder means it should have only one port, both forward as well as return. Both lines should be passing by using this only one port, that is single acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder means we have two ports. That is the main difference. The air can enter through this way. So due to the pressurized air, the piston can move from left hand to right hand. So due to the reduction of volume in that area, what happen if the air available in this position means it will come out to the atmosphere by using this line. So that is double acting cylinder. So normally single acting as well as double acting, these are the two working elements we used in our pneumatic circuit. So that's all about the various components used in pneumatic system. Next, we are going to see just some basic circuits. The actuation of single acting cylinder. Here I have compressor. So on the compressor purpose is used to increase the pressure level, low pressure to high pressure. So high pressure air is straight away sent to the FRL line, filter, regulator, lubricator. So after the air come from the FRL line, that is straight away connected to our 2x2 push button, 3x2 push button direction control valve. Here that line is straight away connected to our pump or pressure line. Number one port is nothing but pump or pressure line. That line should be connected to the FRL segment line. Okay, that is the main important one. So what happened here? The air is flowing to the port number one, but it will not come out because it is arrested. So automatically our cylinder will not extend. So if I press this push button means automatically this pump line will be shifted to to this port. So the air can easily enter to port number 2. That line is straight away connected to our port number 2. So if air enter means automatically the cylinder can able to extend. So this is the extension position. So because of pressing this push button, port number 1 position is shifted. So air is easily entered from port number 1 to port number 2. That port number 2 is straight away connected to the left end of the single acting cylinder. So here the cylinder is extended. If I release this push button means, so the pump line will be shifted to their original position. Automatically the air supply to the cylinder will be cut off. So the cylinder will come to their original position. This is the original position. This is the basic working of single acting cylinder. Similarly, double acting cylinder. Here, double acting cylinder means we should use minimum 4/2 direction control valve. That is the main important one. In single acting cylinder means we can use 3/2 direction control valve. Here, in double acting cylinder, minimum you have to select 4/2 direction control valve. As it is in the regular procedure, the air come out from the compressor with high pressure. That air is straight away sent it to the FRL line. So after come out from the FRL line, that line is straight away connected to the pump or pressure line. So what happened? Here I am not pressed my push button. So that's why only the pump or pressure line acting in that original position. So the air is easily entered to this line. So air entered to the right end of the piston. So due to the application of air, the piston acting in their original position, which means in the left hand side. Suppose if I press this push button means automatically the pump or pressure line will be shifted to port number 2. This is the extension position. After pressing this push button, what happened? The pump or pressure line is shifted to the first position port. So now the air is straight away enter to the left end of the cylinder. So with the application of air pressure, the cylinder can move from left end to right end. So already we have some amount of air in the right hand side also. That air is straight away sent to the atmosphere with the help of silencer. So this is the basic working of double acting cylinder. Next, last one is the speed control circuit. Speed control circuit is nothing but, suppose if you want to extend your cylinder in a very slow manner, if you want to extend your cylinder piston in a very slow manner means, so with the help of flow control valve, you can reduce the amount of flow of, you can reduce the flow rate which is given to the cylinder. So automatically if the flow rate of air will be reduced means, the cylinder can able to extend in a very slow manner. So that is purpose of using flow control valve. Remaining things are same what we discussed in the previous circuit. Suppose if you want to extend your cylinder in a very slow manner means you should use flow control valve. Okay, so that's all about the basic circuits. This is the extension line of speed control circuit. So next I want to show some automation videos. I think it's not working. Pneumatic based automation videos. Valagani sir, whether the video is working? Whether the video is audible?
No, sir, it is not. I think it is on backdrop, sir. You minimize the presentation,
Okay,
sir.
okay.
You minimize the slideshow, then only people will be able to see, sir. Or you copy the YouTube URL and paste it in your browser, sir.
Okay. I think it's not working. So that is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, have you opened any browser?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
That is
Video,
audible.
video is not shown to the participants, sir.
Okay. I will open in the.
You just open any Chrome or Mozilla Firefox browser and just paste the URL, sir.
That is working now.
I think it is not updated in the screen, sir.
Oh. Okay, we will show this video in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we have the lab session. At that time, we will show this video.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Just to summarize the things what you have taught in the session, sir,
Yes.
for 1 minute.
So till now we discussed about the various components used in the pneumatic circuits. And the various components are air service elements. The second one is so till now we discussed about the various components used in the pneumatic circuits. And the first one is the source or service elements. The second one is the signaling elements. Third one is the controlling, which means the direct control valve. The fourth one is the flow control valve, and the fifth one is the cylinder. So these 5 components only we are going to use while designing the pneumatic circuit for automation purpose. Once if you strong by using these components, means you can able to design any type of automation, any type of pneumatic circuit in the automation area. Okay, that is the basic one. So that's all about my presentation. So if you have any doubt, kindly ask.
So participants, today is the day 1 and it's a beginning for you to create any kind of automation circuits. Since you are all from heterogeneous group, so today is the base lesson for you. So Selva Sundar sir taught only what are the components involved in it. In industries, most of the automation circuits are represented in the form of graphical manner. So how it looks like, how to identify the symbols. So that are the key thing for you to take away from this session. Tomorrow onwards, you are going to work with this kind of automation circuit. I already pasted the URL in the chat box. Video URL in the chat box. During your free time, please kindly listen to that video also, so that you can get more amount of idea. I will share a micro level quiz for you at the end of the day. Try to respond those things also. It may be a good practice for you. Okay. So Vignesh sir, please post the feedback link into the chat box, sir. The feedback link is only active for 20 minutes. So participants are requested to fill the feedback form. Each and every day we posted the feedback form. Based upon your attendance only, we can able to give the certificate at the end of the third day of our session. Okay. If you have any questions, please unmute your mic and raise it to Selva Sundar sir, or you may post your questions in the chat box, or otherwise we are going to wind up the session. Vignesh sir, please provide vote of thanks of the session.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, you are audible, Vignesh sir.
Okay. So it's my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion on behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology and Department of Mechanical Engineering. A big thank to Mr. T. Selva Sundar sir so for his wonderful lecture on pneumatics systems. Okay, in this session we have I hope the participants have learned about the basics difference between the pneumatics and hydraulics, its applications, its classifications, and different elements present in pneumatic systems. So on the logic valves and different circuits. Okay, the session was very wonderful and nice explanation, sir. Thank you, Selva Sundar sir, for his wonderful lecture. So and I also wish to express my gratitude to our principal sir, Dr. L. Ganesan sir, and Vice Principal sir, Dr. S. Rajakarnagaran sir. So for providing encouragement during this COVID pandemic period to all the faculty members in conducting such a program. So and also I thank the coordinators, Dr. S. Godwin sir, Valaganesh sir, Amudan sir, Selva sir for his support for conducting the program. So, and also I thank the participants for their patience listening. So, and also welcome the participants for tomorrow sessions at the same time. So kindly join the session earlier by 5:50. So we can start the session and end the session within this period. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable President.
Thank you, Vignesh sir. Participants are requested
Thank you,
to fill the feedback form before left the meeting. The feedback link is already available in the chat box, so it is active only for 20 minutes. So we will share the quiz only those who are filled the feedback form. The quiz will be shared by tonight. If you fill the feedback form, no doubt means please leave the meeting. If you have any doubt, please use chat box or unmute yourself and raise the question. So quiz will be posted on tonight to your email ID. We will send the quiz to your email ID. Don't worry about that. You take 24 hours of time to complete it, and we will share the PPT at the end of this workshop after consolidating all 3 days material. So don't worry about it. We will share definitely the PPT and the supporting materials available for this course. Okay, we will send the quiz by tonight. The quiz is more basic one, so no need to worry about it. Your mark is not considered. One and only thing is whether you are following or not, whether you are understanding certain basic components or not. So this is the basic thing available in the quiz. No need to worry about the marks. That is not considered for the certificate presentation. No mark will be displayed or printed in the certificate. No need to worry about it. Just to ensure your level in this course only.
Valaganesh sir, shall I stop the recording?
Yes, Vignesh sir.